Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cultural Festival's virtual Spring Fling. Just give me a second while I sort out my tech, and hopefully we will be with you in one moment. Let's give this a go. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Reverend Sarah Fletcher, or Rev Sarah, as people like to call me. And I have got churches on Cheetham Hill Road, which is Trinity United, and also I have a church over in Lower Crumpsall, which is St Thomas's. And I've been in the area for about 3 years and involved in the cultural festival for all that time. And what a fantastic day it's been so far, with all the amazing videos that have been sent in. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've shed a tear seeing all those faces that are so familiar, and yet we can't meet in person at the moment. It's reminding me just how much I have missed everybody, and how excited I'm going to be for when we can eventually all meet together again. And I know if we stay safe, then we'll be able to do that very soon. I wanted to give you our actual thing for the Cultural Festival Spring Fling, which is a writing competition. Some of you may know that before lockdown, we had creative writing classes at Trinity United, and we had some fantastic, wonderful times telling stories, writing all different sorts of screenplays and short stories, long stories. It was just an absolutely wonderful session, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it really helped to get some of those thoughts and feelings that you can't say out loud onto paper as well. We are going to give you the opportunity now to write your own short story. You don't have to come into church to do it, because we can't. But I think it's a great way to help with our creativity while we're all stuck inside. Now, to do that, I'm giving you 3 different prompts. And in those 3 prompts, you can pick any story you would like, but you have to use one of those 3 different prompts as your starter for your story, or as your inspiration for your story. And I'm really, really looking forward to some of the things that you can come up with. I'll give you the 3 points now, and then I'll go through the rest of it in a minute. The first one, Goldstone Park, or as us locals like to call it, Pigeon Park, has no pigeons anymore. Why have they all gone? And our second one, the aliens land on Cheetham Hill Road and they ask for a tour. Maybe they're the same aliens that Isa Levi mentioned in his creative workshop for the Royal Exchange that we saw earlier on today. And if you haven't seen it yet, go back and take a look. It is brilliant. So maybe it's those aliens he met on the moon, and they land in Cheetham Hill, and they want you to give them a tour. Where would you take them, and why? Now, how would you explain what all these different places are for? And our third one, in 30 years' time, which is 2050, what will Cheetham Hill look like? And that's a bog standard one, really, but it really, really helps us to think into the future. Maybe the aliens from Isa Levi's story and us will be just partying down Cheetham Hill Road after they've had the tour. Who knows? Let your creativity just run wild. There's no right or wrong things to write about, really. It's all just a way to have fun and to tell a story. And then what we're going to ask you to do, we're asking you to have a story of roughly 2 sides of A4 paper long. And maybe you could give it to us in the format of a zine, like the Partisan Collective's video that we saw before. And maybe you might even want to do some of your own creative drawing. Mary Burke, who was on the video beforehand, may even be able to give you some inspiration for that too. How creative are we here in Cheetham Hill? How amazing is it that we have all these great things? So you will get your story, and whether you do it in the zine form, whether you do it with artwork, whether you just do it on plain and simple paper, give it a go. Let us know what you think, and I'll just go through that again. Pigeon Park has no more aliens. Where have they gone? The aliens landing on Cheetham Hill Road, and they ask for a tour. Where would you take them and why? And in 30 years' time, 2050, what will Cheetham Hill look like? As I say, you only have to pick one of those as the inspiration for your story, and I can't wait to hear. Our judges. The judges will be me, Rev Sarah, and also Churches in Cheetham and Crumpsall's community worker, Aaron. But we also have, for impartiality, 2 fantastic local writers and performers. One of them is Jen, and she is a freelance writer who has worked for the BBC and other big companies. And she writes scripts and screenplays and stories, and she also has her very own Monologue Mondays. And the other one is a freelance writer called Hannah Kate, and she has an awful lot to do with Friends of Crumpsall Park, but she's actually a freelance writer, and she's also the writer in residence at Clayton Hall. Not only that, but she's got 2 radio shows on North Manchester FM. Amazing talent again. We are so, so blessed in this community. We're going to ask you to submit your short stories to the email address that's there, community@incheetham.com, by the 24th of June, which is in a couple of weeks' time. So you've got plenty of time to have a think about it. And then once you've done that, the winners will be announced on the Cheetham Fest Facebook live stream account on the 29th of June. I'm so looking forward to this. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. But the best bit for you guys is, what do you win? Well, we're offering the competition open to adults and children. So there will be some slight differences in the prizes, but basically the winning stories will be turned into an ebook and an audiobook, and they'll be available for people to download from the Cheetham Festival website. Not many people will be able to say that they are a published author. And if you are under 16, if you're one of the children, then we may need to get your parents' permission for us to do that. But, you know, we'll manage. And not only all of those things, but the winners will also receive an arts and crafts pack, which will be full of goodies. We won't be able to get those to you until it's safe to do so, but we will get them to the winners as soon as we possibly can. There will be a winner for each of the 3 categories, and then an overall winner on top of that as well. I'm really, really looking forward to hearing what you've got to write about and reading all the stories. As well as that, though, hopefully, as we're looking to the future, September's cultural festival, the biggie, will be able to go ahead. But we don't know yet, obviously, because of the current situation in the country. If it can, what we are hoping to do at Churches in Cheetham and Crumpsall is hold some sort of a lockdown exhibition. So if you have got creative in any way, shape or form during this lockdown with any different types of art medium, then we would like to have some kind of an exhibition to show off all the work that you've done. There is only one proviso with any of the work that you send in, and that's for adults and children. It needs to be family friendly. It needs to be no naughty words, no swear words, and it needs to be one that is suitable for everybody in our community. Thank you very much for listening Enjoy the rest of the festival. Have plenty of opportunity to go back and watch all our other videos. And thank you to all that have contributed already. Next up is going to be Adiba Sultan, who will be bringing us a pub quiz. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.